I'm Neve Owens. Welcome to the Isuzu UTE A-League highlights show. There is no better place than Cooper's Stadium for Friday night football. The Reds are undefeated in 9 games and have only lost once at home, so it is a big job ahead for Wellington Phoenix, who make the trip across the ditch to South Australia. Calling the action, Simon Hill and Daniel McBreen.
Sass turning into trouble, stolen on the blind side by Ryan Kitto. Well, they just gave them a little bit of a sniff there, Wellington Phoenix, and Ryan Kitto did not need asking twice. Worked out by Dorigo to Clough, who looked to sling it in. It's a decent ball. Oh, a mistake by Ollie Sale. The cross was met, not by Jovanovic, but by Scott Wootton. And it was too hot to handle for Ollie Sale, who's been so consistent this season. And Adelaide hit the front with a really soft goal. Here's the free kick, Goodwin, lovely shape to it, and Jay Barnett poured away, but in at the second attempt by Luka Jovanovic, who has his second goal in the competition, his first at Cooper Stadium, and Adelaide have doubled their money. That ball over the top of the midfield line of Adelaide to find Barbarousis. Moragas continuing the run. Oh, beautifully found by a little chip by Kraev. What a save by Gauci to deny Sass. Still there for Ugarkovic. Hits it into the Red Army and beyond.
But again, when they get into those wide areas, they seem to stop, where in past it seems that they get in half a chance, they get that ball in the box.
Joe Gauci robbed of the ball, no foul. Barbarousis surely. Goodness me. One of the misses of the season with the goal gaping. Wellington could not convert. What an extraordinary passage of play that was. Ugarkovic, talking of Sass, here he is. Callan Elliott pushing up. And Barbarousis had a sling at it, and Kraev sees his shot deflected inches wide of that left-hand upright. Another chance for the Knicks. Would you believe it's Adelaide's first corner of the game? Here it comes. Make that 3-0. Lockie Barr climbed highest. His third of the season. Just break away, Tristan, for the moment, because Wellington Phoenix have a penalty. Rufa against Gauci. Sent it the wrong way. Just a second goal in 115 A-League men's games for Alex Rufa. Kitto, what a ball. Goodwin. Dorigo in position. The cutback. Oh, that's wonderful football by the Reds. Hiroshi Ibasuki, I think with his first touch since coming on as a substitute, makes it 4-1 for Adelaide United. And that was a super team goal. Started by Ryan Kitto. Goodwin and Dorigo involved, and Ibasuki applied the finish. Now they've got to chase back the Knicks. They could leave the door unlocked. Here goes Irakunda again. Onside. Around the goalkeeper. And misses. Wow. Here they go again. Goodwin in space. Still Craig Goodwin. Make that 5-1. The Red skipper gets in on the scoring act. It's double figures for the season for Craig Goodwin. For the third time in his A-League men's career, he goes into double figures. And that is full time. They don't need the Adelaide Festival in this city. They've got the great entertainers at Cooper Stadium. 10 unbeaten now for the Reds. Adelaide United 5. Wellington Phoenix 1 had finished.
Let's head to McDonald Jones Stadium next. The Newcastle Jets haven't won in 3 and need that home ground bounce as they welcome Perth Glory to town. Your commentators are Glenn Lauder and Phil Moss.
He's in shooting mood, but now it's Angus Thurgate, also on the score sheet last week. Saito, and now Hoffman. Wow, so close for 2 goals in 2 weeks, but he just couldn't quite get the connection that he would have hoped for. Start again on the edge of Newcastle's area. Hoffman slips, it gives Osler an opportunity. Trent Osler forces the save out of Michael Weir, and that could have been embarrassing for Jason Hoffman, who slipped over at the wrong time.
Good save by Weir at a comfortable height, but Osler did oh so well. We've had about 13 minutes or so since the drinks break. It just seems to have taken the sting out of the game a little bit. It hasn't been the same rhythm in transition as what we saw in the first 22 minutes.
What can Manabu Saito come up with here? Towards the back post, and waiting for it is Trent Bahaja. Just as you say that, Mossy, the Newcastle Jets come alive. Bahaja with 2 assists last week, and he gets his name on the score sheet this afternoon. Newcastle, after early pressure, lead 1-0. Jelicic was offering short. He goes towards the back post. And would you believe it? Perth Glory, as easy as you like for Trent Osler. He was completely unmarked at the back post, nestles inside Michael Weir's far post, and that is a very, very easy goal to concede for Newcastle. Perth Glory won't mind how it comes. They're back at parity. It's 1-1. Here's Costa Grozos with an opportunity for Newcastle, and with a first touch on the edge of the area, it's a wonderful strike from Costa Grozos into the bottom corner, and Newcastle, with just over 10 minutes remaining, take a vital 2-1 lead through Costa Grozos' wonderful goal. Broken the hearts of his side as Adam Taggart, one-on-one with Michael Weir, can't finish it. The 6 minutes is up. Towards the front post, and Ryan Williams with the header. It's in the back of the net. The Newcastle Jets ask the question. They cannot believe it. But Perth Glory, for the second time in 2 weeks, a late injury time goal. It'll mean the points are shared, and it's Ryan Williams with a famous goal for the Glory. Just when they looked like they were home. It's honours even. A thrilling afternoon of football in the Hunter. In the end, it finishes Newcastle 2, Perth Glory 2.
Brisbane Roar host Western United at KO Stadium on Saturday afternoon. Western United are unbeaten in 3 as the defending champs mount a late season surge towards finals football. Robbie Thompson and Daniel McBreen are calling this one.
Here's Lofthouse, a little touch for O'Shea, back to Lofthouse, lovely football, brilliant save, the follow-up, and Stefan Šćepović does not have his first goal for Brisbane Roar. The flag is up for offside. Fantastic pass from Kai Truan for Šćepović. The flag has stayed down so long, the cut back, O'Shea hits it. Lacroix with the defensive header and corner for Brisbane Roar. Well, there's no doubt that is going to be a big talking point as the defensive header from Akbari almost caught out his own keeper.
Well, that's a great save. Down to his left.
And already a heart-in-mouth moment for Roar at one end. Now Lofthouse takes over, he's got Šćepović in the middle. He finds him, Šćepović, the chance! Oh, what a save! Jamie Young. O'Shea. We'll have a chat about that expected goals in a moment as Henry Hoare is the latest to try his luck from the edge of the area. Garuccio delivers the header at the near post. Well, the initial header was Leo Lacroix, but I'm not sure it was the final touch. O'Shea. Akbari trying to thread it through to Lofthouse. He gets it at the second attempt. Lofthouse still! He looks to the referee, who looks to the linesman, and the goal stands. Brisbane Roar, who you'd have to say on the balance of play, it's the least they deserve.
Offside.
O'Shea sends it straight back out so he can do some more work against Hoare. Henry Hoare for O'Shea. He's got it! Jay O'Shea. Brilliant finish from the Irishman. His 6th of the season. And blows for full time. A second win out of 2 home matches for Nick Green. Back in the winner's circle, courtesy of Jay O'Shea. It's finished here in Redcliffe. The Raw 1, Western United 0.
Join us after the break as we wrap up the rest of the action from round 21. Welcome back to the Isuzu UTE A-League highlights show. The third instalment of the Sydney Derby is the blockbuster fixture on Saturday night. Over 30,000 fans packed into Allianz Stadium to see these two sides go head-to-head once again. Simon Hill and Andy Harper are calling the action.
Driven in towards the near post. Helped on by Leuni. Amalfitano. And it drops here for Yengi. Down he goes inside the box, and there is a half shout for a spot kick from the Wanderers, but crucially perhaps not from Yengi himself.
Wow, what a chance for the Wanderers.
Retro's not escaped. Now Barello slipped the ball through, and more Leuni. Big chance for the Wanderers. Yengi has to score, and does again at Allianz Stadium, this time in front of the Cove. He's becoming the Sky Blues bogeyman, and the Wanderers contingent goes wild at the other end of the ground. Grant, no way through for him. And Yengi will set up another attack. It's Ninkovic threading it through. Amor Leuni! It's 2 for Western Sydney Wanderers. And the Sydney FC defence was split apart once again. And the Tunisian pounced. Ninkovic almost managed to slip through Leuni. And now Retro with Yengi right on his hammer, and the Wanderers have pinched the ball. It's Brendan Barello. It's a really smart save by Redmayne. And then Bratton misses his kick, and the Wanderers could be away here. Ninkovic finding Leuni on the right. Yengi making a late run. Leuni might go on his own. And he came off the outside of the boot.
Just that sharpness that's not there second half compared to first. I mean, they pinched the ball from similar circumstances in the first half.
Amalfitano. Ninkovic able to turn. Nieuwenhof encouraged to shoot by the fans. And does so! And how? Against his former club. A howitzer into the top corner. And surely Sydney are sunk in the derby. 3-0 for the red and black. Here's Robert Mack for Sydney FC. Behind him is Joe Lolly, and they find a toe hold in the game. Not quite from Lolly.
They just got stuck to start with.
Bratton looking for that run of Ryan Grant that we've seen so often down the years. Ryan Grant! That's a really good save by Lawrence Thomas. Just made himself big. Sydney's best chance possibly of the night. From that trademark run.
Diogo Cabaya inside the penalty area, left-hand side, with incredible amount of time. No solution at the end of it. A pass that went nowhere.
Oh, Barello, lovely ball. Leuni! Game, set, and match to the red and black. Sydney have been put to the sword, ripped apart. And the Wanderers fans will go home happy tonight. Break here for Alex Wilkinson, or rather Jack Rodwell, I should say. Apologies. Kucharski. Woods. Chance. Rodwell. Surely for Sydney. No. Miraculous double stop by Lawrence Thomas. Didn't know too much about the first one. In the end, the ball just pops up into his arms. It's been that sort of night for the Wanderers. And that sort of evening for Sydney.
Well, little snapshot of Kucharski too, just quietly in the lead up there. Very sharp give and go. Rodwell made a nuisance of himself. Might have been, no, he was onside. Being played on by Bonatic. And then it was the heroics of Lawrence Thomas, desperate to protect that clean sheet.
And Ali Reza Fagani confirms Western Sydney Wanderers' biggest ever win in the derby. Steve Corica's side utterly dismantled and ultimately dispirited. Full time, Sydney FC 0, Western Sydney Wanderers 4.
Melbourne Victory take on the Central Coast Mariners in the first of 2 games on Sunday. Tony Popovic's side remain at the foot of the table and are currently on a 3-game winless run. Robbie Thompson and Daniel McBreen are at Amy Park.
Fernando Romero will be hoping he can make an impact as a starting player today. He releases Economides, brings it back onto the right foot. And that pretty much sums up Chris Economides' season, doesn't it? It started so well in that big blue up in Sydney on the opening day, but and that long ball has gone all the way through, over the top, and Bruno Fornaroli has struck and landed the first blow at Amy Park this afternoon. Well, he was just down receiving treatment on what looked like a sore knee. At least for another couple of weeks. Economides. Romero on the left. It's taken another little deflection on the way through.
He thinks anything you can do, Bruno, I'm going to do as well. It wasn't the best first touch as the ball comes in. Economides, great play. Looks for some support, gets a little bobble and says, well, I may as well have a crack.
That's a good challenge by Steele. Now Theoharis, who hits it. Well, he looked up, felt that there were no other options and decided to try his luck and wasn't too far away. Economides down to the byline, the comeback, and Fernando Romero, the Paraguayan, gets his first goal for Melbourne Victory. And 10 minutes into the second half, the home side lead by 2-0. Now, is there a free kick there? Yes, says the referee. Romero, who's been flying into everything. Melbourne Victory players are furious. No yellow card. Back into the pocket. Out comes the red. Economides still. And now the effort. Great save, Danny Vukovic. Well, Cadete, he had to wait an age for the ball to be released. Silvera, near post. Oh, it was well worked again. Not the first time today we've seen a training ground routine. But is the dream alive for Melbourne Victory? They remain bottom with this win. But they are now just 6 points behind Sydney FC in that finals position. The race for the finals is still on. It's finished here at Amy Park. Melbourne Victory 2, Central Coast Mariners 0.
The final game of round 21 comes from Campbelltown Stadium. The Bulls have conceded 10 goals in their last 3 games, and the task gets even tougher this week as Melbourne City come to town. Calling the action, Teo Palizzeri and Andy Harper.
Still Talbot. He's got dreams of a miracle goal, and then he defers to McLaren. It's blocked off the line. Keeper out of the equation. But ultimately, it was Thomas Labuskov who was in the road. Here's Jamison, blocked away by Bacchus. Now the outlet pass, clever from Romero. And Toure backs his own speed. He's got the pitch to break into here, Al-Hassan Toure. And he feeds it through. It's Romero. He rounds the keeper. And MacArthur score. What a moment for Jason Romero. The mid-season surprise signing. The American via RBL Leichhardt has put MacArthur in front. Switches back out. Talbot on the opposite flank, the one he's been playing. Let's see what he can do. Inverted here. Talbot cuts onto his left side. Needs a flick on at the near post. Naboot! They weren't behind for long. Oh, and it's going to be disallowed. And the Cowbells tell the story as it remains 1-0. And the flag of Anton Shannon has scuppered Andrew Naboot. And Jamison again deflecting on Talbot. Knocks it back. Jamison on his right foot. And he collects the woodwork.
Well, it's wonderful. Really, Talbot has been quite electric tonight.
Great incisive pass. And a penalty given.
Great touch across the defender. Clear penalty from there. Was it onside? Offside.
And so it will not be a penalty kick, and the yellow card is removed from Jonathan Aspropotomidis' name. Jamison. Great touch from Boss. And it's in for an own goal. City are back in business. And Jonathan Aspropotomidis has put him through his own net to tie the game up at 1-1. Miller crashes in for the header.
Or win the match. Forget surviving, says Lockie Rose.
Rose gets the better of Boss. Jethro deflected. Corner kick coming up. Was that their chance? Berisha. O'Neill. Contact. Penalty.
Well, did he get a touch of the ball there, Bueta? To me, this is getting into the hair splitting.
No penalty. McLaren keeps it alive. He crosses it. No one home for City initially. Tilio is there. Still Tilio! It's just wide. Hard and bounced up. And that will do it. MacArthur pulled out for a draw. And Mile Stajovski says well done to his assistants at Campbelltown Stadium. MacArthur 1, Melbourne City 1.
Before we go, let's have a quick look at the league table. City share the spoils with the Bulls, so Adelaide cut the distance to the summit to just 4 points. The Wanderers are in outright third spot after the Mariners lost to Melbourne Victory, with both Victory and the Raw bagging 3 points from round 21. See you next week for more Isuzu UTE A-League action.